Well, former President Goodluck Jonathan says the APC-led administration runs a government of lies and propaganda. According to him, the APC administration has nothing to show in terms of achievement. Rather, the ruling party, the APC, has been governing through lies and deployment of high-tech propaganda to cover up its misrules. Public affairs analyst Otumba Olabode Oseni joins me now to discuss this issue. Thank you for joining me on TVC News.
Thank you very much for having me.
Very indicting statement, I must say. Let's get your reaction to this statement by former President Goodluck Jonathan that the APC runs a government based on lies and propaganda.
There is this Spanish adage that says pot calling the kettle black. Again, I've said it many times, I don't want to do analysis that cannot match the test of time. Analysis is normally when you compare things, issues, and that's how I resolve to do more comments on public and political affairs of Nigeria and some other countries that I deal with. The greatest problem we have in Nigeria is some people believe the country belongs to them. Now, the situation in Nigeria is this. Nigeria used to have a government before the present government. And in any association, in any organization, in any country, in anywhere, there must be a structure. A structure now needs to be improved on. If anybody says that this government is operating on lies, so that means the government has inherited lies. I am not defending anybody here. We need to be real. We have been through this before. But I must say this. Looks like to me that some people are not smelling the coffee. They're not smelling they cannot see. They cannot see the writing on the walls. That Nigerians are more educated. They are more becoming liberated. They are more into knowing what they want now. Nobody can fob them. In fairness,
Otumba, a serving minister once berated the PDP, saying any serious government would fix the power challenge in 6 months. Well, that hasn't happened since 2015 when the APC took over. So can we say that the APC-led government is an unserious one?
Well, in any government, again, you expect to have a kind of opposition. In opposition, people will say certain things they do not know and certain things they cannot practice when they get to government. Because it's one thing to be in opposition, it's another thing to be in government. We have seen, yes, I agree with you. There have been so many insinuators, time without number that opposition then were saying they will do this, they will do that. And I remember very well that part of their promises is area of providing energy, providing education, improving on all this and that. Unfortunately, it has not happened. But what I cannot subscribe to, what I'm not going to agree to is anybody, especially the so-called leaders we have so far, what have they done? Where's the record of the government before this one? What is the record of the former this, former that? They've not helped Nigerians. They put Nigerians in deodorant. They put them in more problems than what they bargained for. So at the end of the day, and do not forget, this repair, this fixing of what we call problems of Nigeria cannot be done overnight. Well, yes, there's so many things that are really wrong. But at the same time, we must appreciate that this problem has been there for years. Corruption is not last week. To fix and deal with corruption, you are not going to do it within 24 hours. I've said it many times, you will need to go and deal with the causes of problem, that is dealing with ordinary people in the country, elevating their lifestyle, helping them to get their children to school, getting them low-budget housing, Medicare, little things, pay their salaries. We have a situation where governors are displaying empty wealth, stolen money, showing the people that they mean nothing. And that's why I say the result of all this is going to create more agitation, and the people are now becoming wiser. They're going to deal They're going to deal with government that did not perform. And that's nothing to do with whether you are APC or PDP. But I'm really shocked to find out that some leaders, some politicians in the country are still talking like they could have done better when they had all the opportunities. You're talking of PDP. PDP was there 16 years long. The question is, for an average person in Mushin, what has PDP did for you for 16 years?
All right. The APC campaign thrust, the focus was supposed to be education, health, power, amongst others. Now, let's take a look at these three: education, power, and health. What have they been able to achieve in these three sectors so far?
I will agree with you that I cannot see. I'm not going to sit down in London and be telling you that something in this area has been done that is feasible, that anybody can see. Again, it's foolhardy for anybody to think Nigeria will grow without a backup of education. And I have said this, most of the professors that we have today, masters, PhD in anything and so on and so forth, people who have education are now living from the legacy of someone who believes that it cannot be a plan of 4 years, it has to be a plan of 20, 40 years ahead that provided education then. Those are the people that they're now saying, those are the people with legacy. But most of the last 16 whatever years, these are people who are showing us that they have no vision. They are visionless. They are not leaders. They're just there to enhance their own pocket, and now they started building up their war chest. They want to campaign again and win election. They're going to be. I just want to see how they're going to do it.
All right, very quickly now.
Yes.
Very quickly. Do you think this statement will rattle the very fragile or delicate relationship between the former president and the present one?
I would be surprised if it's going to have any effect, because for the first time we have a president who at least want to fight openly the biggest problem, the biggest cancer affecting Nigeria, which is corruption. And I want to see, well, he's doing his best, but he's surrounded himself with more terrible leaders, and he must get rid of them. And that's a message to the president. Well,
we have to leave it here now. Otumba Olabode Oseni, public affairs analyst, I'd like to thank you for joining us on TVC News.
I want to thank you also very much for having me.